How's it going, everybody? My name is Trey Cockrum, and in this video, I'm talking about how anything worth building just takes time, and how in the internet marketing space, the online coaching space, and for the most part, just the internet business sphere, we've really put on a pedestal quick success, but we have forgotten the foundational fundamentals that create lasting, sure success. This is coming from somebody who had a big wave of a lot of success really young, and I put well over $1 million profit in the bank and had multiple six-figure profit months, lived a fast lifestyle, did all of that. And now today, I've rented this really nice cabin. Just inside, actually, some of my most important team members are watching a podcast together and taking notes and growing our relationships. My wife came by and did an Enneagram workshop for us to help us kind of go deeper in our relationships as a team. And we're well on track to do well over $500,000 a month in total volume in our company. And in this video, I'm just talking about the posture that I've kind of moved into that makes me happier. Honestly, I'm way happier now. Makes me way less comparing to other people's success, less envious of it. Makes me just overall a better leader. And the posture is just a bottom-up willingness to do all the little things compounded over time that lead to sure success. And you'll have to mind if there's some wind noise. I'm just going to speak through it and hope that the message comes across and that you can hear past the wind. So for those who don't know, what we do is we help people start or grow online coaching, consulting businesses. So we take experts in any field and we help them package that and sell it online. It's a lot of fun what we do. And sometimes people already have that business, and if they already have it, we can usually help them 2 to 10x that business within a couple of months. And I've been doing that now for almost half a decade, so almost 5 years. And I've learned a lot in that time. And I've learned that it's not necessarily the niche or the industry or the offer. It's not really the funnel you use. It's not really, how good you are at sales or how good you are at making content or these surface skills. It's none of those surface skills that really create lasting success. Those are prerequisites to lasting success. But what really determines whether somebody lasts, like I've been able to last now, is their underlying philosophy, their mode of operation, right? And so here's I figure a good format for this video is just to relay a couple philosophical viewpoints that since I've began to use them in my career and in my business have enabled me to create very lasting, sustainable, and fun success and rebuild my business now. This is probably the third iteration of my business, and rebuild it every time without any loss of momentum, having a ton of fun every single time, and really just having a very light, fun approach to the whole thing without much pressure and just enjoying the ride, right? And not needing it to come quick. So the first philosophy, right, is really one that just destroys envy and comparison. And the first philosophy is I'm going to do my best to get to know the people that I look up to and that I maybe even envy, and ask them what they've done to earn their success. And oftentimes you realize, wow, they really deserve it. They've really done what it takes. And, oftentimes that kind of melts your envy. And it takes your envy and it turns it into, man, there's something I can really learn from this person. How can I humble myself and learn this thing from this person? Because why that's so important is if you don't melt your envy away and you don't, you're still seeing the world through the lens of what others have that you don't have yet, then you're not willing to do the little things that create the big things. Does that make sense? You're just trying to play catch up because you feel bad about yourself, right? So, instead of trying to just build a good company, you're trying to fill a void in yourself, which are two very different things. But a lot of people aren't self-aware over their actual motives, right? So I used to be the fill a void in myself guy, and I used to be trying to succeed because I didn't like myself, not because I actually wanted to succeed. And this takes a lot of introspection, and it can take a lot of time to get to this place. But now, honestly, I just enjoy the journey. I enjoy building things. I love working with good people. I love making money. I love, involving, high integrity, high character individuals into an organization that's really fun to work for with a good culture and everything. And I love that. I just really genuinely enjoy that. I love marketing. I love sales. I love product. I love all of it. But honest to God, if I lost all of it tomorrow, it wouldn't change how I look at myself. It wouldn't change anything. I feel very at peace with who I am. My walk with God is the most important thing in my life. My relationship with my wife, my new kid. These are the things that are really important to me. And so by having a good view of myself, the business thrives. Not if the business thrives, I then have a good view of myself, right? And so you have to learn how to see your envy and see it as, it's not that you necessarily envy others, it's that you don't even like yourself. You don't love yourself. You're not proud of yourself, right? And that might be something you need to explore a little bit. So that's the first thing, is why are you really doing it, and the philosophy behind envy and, self-love, really. So here's the second philosophy. The second philosophy is that if you really want it, then you'd be willing to die to get it. And what I mean by this is, it's either do it or die. And when you have that mentality towards something, you don't care how long it takes. You don't care if it's going to take 10 years or 20 years or 2 years or 8 months or 2 weeks or, you don't care what it's going to take. You're going to do literally whatever it takes. And when I say this, a lot of people have this, but they end up with quick success anyway. What I mean to say by this is, if you aren't willing to do literally whatever it takes, which is a very common phrase that we kind of tend to just glance over and not really consider the depth and breadth of that phrase. If you're willing to do whatever it takes, then that willingness to do whatever it takes is the key that unlocks the door to whatever it is that you want. So I've been willing to rebuild my entire team twice over now. I've been willing to stick it out in an industry, in a space that's extremely competitive, and I have a lot of competitors that I'll do something and they'll immediately do it in their business because I'm leading the pack. You know what I mean? And I think it's kind of funny, actually. I'm willing to go through having people slander my reputation. I'm willing to go back and get back on the phones and sell it myself and show the team how it's done. I'm willing to hop on meetings with clients that aren't that satisfied and help figure out and navigate those situations. I'm willing to go through rounds and rounds and rounds of hiring and interviewing and training new people who are dropping the ball over and over again on tasks that I figured out how to do 4 years ago. I'm willing to do this stuff. I'm willing to go way backwards in order to go forwards. And so that willingness to do whatever it takes, my dad says it like this. He's a sage, and he says, he's got all these things for me. And he says, if you find yourself too little to do the big things, if you find yourself too big to do the little things, you end up too little to get the big things. But a lot of people, they're like, oh, I've already done that. I'm above that. I'm already at the stage of my journey. I'm not willing to go backwards. I've already got a setter. I've already got a closer. I'm not going to, there's this ego-y attitude. Relax. You're not all that. You need to relax your ego and accept that at some point, if you keep that ego, you're going to lose it all. And I've seen it happen over and over and over again to competitors and even friends and people that I care about. They think that they've made it, they check the box, they stop becoming willing to do whatever it takes, and then they lose it, and then that muscle isn't trained, and it's really hard to get going again. So you have to be living in the dirty work, living in that do whatever it takes sort of an attitude in order for this thing to really last. You really enjoy that. Okay, so the third philosophy is that good things take time, but often not as much time as you think. What's really fascinating about accepting a decade or two long time horizon is that the results that you want in a decade or two end up coming faster, because if you want it quick, often you're not willing to do the things that get you there. Does that make sense? So if you want it quick, you end up kind of just cutting corners and doing things quicker and making sacrifices, which then your efforts don't compound as well, and then you end up getting it slower. So if you want it quick, it's actually this weird paradox. You should act like it's going to take 20 years and then just accept it and be willing to do whatever it takes and want it for you and not to heal a part of you that you don't like yourself, like the first and the second point there. And then you'll get it much quicker, right? So these are just some philosophies that have really helped me. The fourth philosophy is, I actually heard this from Gary Vaynerchuk. There's not a lot like that I really, I'm like, oh man, that's brilliant, because Gary's been around so long, and I feel like at this point, he's one of those kind of gets people into the space a little bit, gets people in entrepreneurship. I've been around so long now. But one thing that I really, really liked that he said was speed in the micro, but patience in the macro. So if right now, something he's done, like our Facebook ad account, something's wonky there and our media buyer isn't doing that great of a job, I'll step in and I'll fix it right there. I won't wait. I won't be like, a couple more days of the spin not really doing what it's supposed to, a couple more days of the targeting being a little off, it's okay. No, I'm going to fix that right then and there. That's not tolerable. However, I have a macro patience towards the results that I want. Or if sales rep, we've got a good hand. I think we have 3 people in here that are sales reps for us. We have 1/4 who couldn't make it. He just had a kid, which is super cool. I was on the phone with him for like an hour helping him process it, right? Which was really cool. I loved that. But what was I saying? Yeah, so if a sales rep of ours, this is an individual who meets with new potential prospects and just kind of interviews them and sees if they're a good fit for our programs and services, and if they are, then he goes ahead and enrolls them into them. It's a really fun job. Get to really get to know people, ask a bunch of questions and everything. And if they do something wrong, I'm just gonna tell them like, hey man, like I really think instead of asking that question this way, you should ask it this way, and here's why. You know what I mean? And really step in immediately and not let things sit. You know what I mean? Because I've really got that muscle. I know what to do. I know how to do this. I've done it myself for like a half a decade now, so I really understand this stuff. Or if somebody on the team is like really just not the best fit and like we really shouldn't have brought him in, I'll let him go quick. Like I'm not gonna like tolerate that. So very, very, very low tolerance for parts of the system that aren't serving the whole, but a very, very high tolerance for the amount of time that it'll take for the whole to succeed. And again, paradoxically, if you have a lot of patience, you end up getting it quicker because you're more willing to do things because you don't need the reward right now. You know what I mean? And your efforts compound much quicker than you would even imagine. So that's really cool. And then if I had to come up with a 5th philosophy, it would honestly be just get your foundations right. Like a lot of people, they make these intense personal life sacrifices and these intense personal sacrifices. Like they lose a bunch of weight, and they are not taking care of themselves. They lose sleep. They're not sleeping. They're not eating. They're caffeinated to the teeth. They don't take care of their spouse or their marriage. They don't take care of their family relationships. They don't take care of their spirituality, their faith. They don't take care of these other components of their character. And I used to be this guy, and I almost had a severe burnout. Right? And then it was actually my wife. She was like, baby, you have to take better care of yourself here. And I used to be like, shut up, woman. You don't know, like that kind of an attitude, which is so dumb looking back, right? Because she just wants the best for me. And so I started to go to counseling, started to kind of work on myself a little bit. I'm actually now doing ketamine therapy to recover from some old traumas. Maybe I can make a video about that if anybody's interested. And just really taking care of my mind and my body and my heart. And really, I'd rather do 2 or 3 hours of solid work from a really healthy place a day than do like 10 hours of work a day and just run myself into the ground. Now, there's a season for those 10-hour days, and I've been through them, but you really want to like minimize those seasons. You want to build good systems and take care of yourself. And when I say take care of yourself, I don't mean like bubble baths. I mean like real good care. Like take care of your head, your mindset, your relationships, your heart, your health, your gut health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, all these things. These are components of your whole character. And if these are out of alignment, then your work's going to fall out of alignment as well. And if you're waiting on your work to feel good, that's a recipe for disaster. You have to feel good, and then your work will catch up to that. Right? So I hope this has been a helpful video. Just kind of talking about how to sustainably succeed for the long term. And now if you yourself, you're trying to reach multiple 6 or 7 figures, and you tend to like the messages that I put out, you've watched this whole video, and you just get a sense that maybe, we could connect on a good level, maybe these philosophies, these strategies could help you succeed better, then you can schedule a free one-to-one consultation using the top link in the description. There's no pressure to make a financial decision on the consult. We're not going to hard sell anything. Really, all we want to do is just get to know you, ask some questions, hear about your business, hear about you as a person. That's the most important thing. Just understand you. And then if we see that you're a good fit for what we do, we'll get you started in that. But if we see that you're maybe a good fit for something else, we'll just make that recommendation and send you maybe where you're best fit. And our whole goal with our company, our mission and our vision is really just to give people the tools that they need to take what they know, their expertise, their knowledge, and become world-class, wealthy, known leaders, because we'd like to help decentralize education in our company. And so if you find yourself with a mission, a heart-given mission, or something that you can bring to the world, a skill set, knowledge, something like that, and you don't have the tools to get that out there and build a profitable business with it, or you are running that business and you'd like to scale it to a multiple 6, 7, or even an 8-figure level, you can go pop in a consult. It'll be with myself or my team, kind of depending on where you're at in the business, and we'll just take it from there. Okay, so links in the top of the description. But if you watch this video this far and you don't schedule your call, It's not a worry. Hopefully you can enjoy the free content. I'll keep putting up good stuff like this. Let me know in the comments below what else you want to see. And yeah, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Just let me know what else you want to watch, and I'll probably make it. See you then.